Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux. Shit. What was the thing called this week? Uh, it took a minute.
Uh, my roommate is a cat. The Japanese title is a lot longer than that, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it was something like my roommate is on my head or something. Something like that. Doukyonin wa Hiza Tokidoki Atama no Ue. There we go. Yeah, that's a name. Uh, This is a cat anime. I'm kind of into it, but I feel like I'm predictable in that sense.
Mhm.
It's
I
it's an
mean, it's good.
it's an anime about cat.
Academy.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but also not just because cat. So automatically gets Casey's seal of approval. So it's kind of suspect, but still, it actually delivers beyond the fact that it has cat in it.
I
Is
remember you talking about how you really liked it.
Yeah. I
So
thought I thought it was really cute.
the premise is our main character is a novelist who one day picks up a cat, and
Because
being a
it
novelist,
inspires him, and
yes,
then they form a strange bond as they begin to understand one another. Because he's kind of a hikikomori kind of dude for reasons.
hmm
And people are a thing that he doesn't get. Animals also a thing that he kind of doesn't get. Uh, so just other living things are just practically a mystery to him. But he has a vivid imagination. So, uh, yeah, a lot of it is him just trying to figure out interactions with a creature that is much simpler than him, as like a starter friend, I guess.
starter friend.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It is a show where right away you can see that there's nothing gonna be too like serious or world ending or anything like a lot of other shows. It's a guy and a cat, and the cat expressing concern for him because he is working himself to the point where he forgets to eat,
Mm.
and he's just like, from his perspective, he's just, gosh darn it, cat, why do you keep leaving food outside my door? But from the cat's point of view, it's like, but you need to eat. Here, have some of my food, and it's adorable.
Yeah. I mean, we jumped into the synopsis a little bit and jumped the gun massively. That's probably my fault for not actually getting to the synopsis. But, yeah. So it starts with his parents' funeral, I guess.
hmm
Uh, and he is already kind of checked out as a person at this point, and just does not want to deal with anyone, and that apparently is the trigger for him just not wanting to deal with anyone for the rest of his life. It seems. At least that's how it's framed.
hmm
And then we skip forward, and he is a novelist now. Uh, Presumably graduated from school and done all the regular stuff, or tested out, or just dropped out. You never actually know. Um, but he's a novelist, and he gets called out for a meeting with his new editor because his old one, I forget, he might have gone on vacation, or he might have done something else, or just switched to another author or something. But the new editor is very much a people person, which is not his speed. Just kind of wants to be left alone to do his thing, and he'll get stuff out. Just let him be, and he'll do things. And new editor just does not get that message.
Which, considering he passes out from hunger, if left alone, maybe not always the smartest idea.
Yeah.
So there is some weight and some
Yeah.
You need an editor who's willing to check on you.
Apparently, this guy does.
Yeah. It's just there's clearly been a very specific process that has gone on between author and editor in the past, and this is a new guy that doesn't understand how that worked, but also kind of has legitimate reasons for not wanting things to work like that because it's kind of unhealthy. So yeah, it's kind of the theme of the show is two people having very different interpretations of how they're doing things and trying to come to an agreement over the course of an episode. So yeah, that happens with both the editor and with the cat. So like I say, starter, friend kind of thing. As he learns to understand other things, other creatures.
Mutual understanding. It's
Yeah.
a great thing. You love to see it.
Yeah. So, he basically tells his editor to fuck off, stop inviting me out to places. I don't want to do any of this shit. I will get a manuscript for my next novel. I will get a new concept out for you, and then I'll have a new chapter for you if you just leave me the fuck alone and let me do my thing. Yeah. And he has a little bit of a freak out because it's so noisy in the small cafe where there are like a handful of other people. Does not like being outside, does not like being around other people in general. So he just practically bolts and just leaves because he just can't. Which I can relate, frankly. Other people. I remember those. There may be other reasons this sort of just kind of spoke to me as a show. But, yeah.
I was watching this show. I'm like, Casey's this is a Casey show. This is you have a writer and you have a cat. That's everything that Casey is about.
Yeah, pretty much. There's no wife who's present yet, but you know.
But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Maybe. Who
I
knows?
mean, I guess technically there's the cat. I mean, not in a sexual sense, but it is rapidly becoming his best friend. So
yeah. I want a cat. Anyway, so he goes to go home and he runs across a cat. It's like meh. He's like, a cat. A cat. A cat is secretly trying to kill me. And that's the plot for his next book. It's just that quickly.
Yep.
Which
setting traps and everything.
Yeah, that's okay. As a concept, that actually sounds pretty fucking cool. Which, if you want to posit a guy as a writer, you probably should have him come up with some cool ideas. Which is unfortunate because it means you can't do those ideas yourself. But, that's how it goes.
There's a game focused around the idea of the cat is trying to kill me, and they're creating a bunch of. It's a platformer with like buzzsaws and everything.
I thought you were talking about No Luca No, the one where you just push the cat away from your cereal.
No, Luca.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
So So, yeah, he, oh, I remember what it was. He didn't just run across it. He went to his parents' grave and did the traditional things that you do at a Japanese person's grave that I don't really know the customs, but you pray. And then he gets out food, and then there's a cat there. And it's just fucking staring at him because he has fish. And he hands it some fish. Yeah.
And he was, I think you take a small meal with you to prove that you can support yourself, and you enjoy the meal there for the grave. And the cat jumps out and just kind of flips over his food and spills it all over the ground. That scarfs most of it, I think.
So yeah, he's very quickly intrigued by the concept of cat and decides to make a book about it. And so he takes the cat. Like, yeah, okay. Let's fucking do this. See, I need to figure out how cat, so, just to make it authentic. So, okay, let's do that. So now he has a cat, and it's there, and he has to get food and stuff for it. So he does, and then he sits down to get to work. Calls his editor and is like, hey, had this cool idea. This is the concept for my next book. The editor's like, oh, cool. So do you want to go somewhere and get it? And the editor's coworker is like, oh, you got that guy, huh? Yeah, just when it comes close to a deadline, just make sure to keep an eye on him, just in case. Yeah.
I completely missed that bit. I didn't realize he got a heads up on that.
Yeah. This is apparently a known problem because of office gossip and all that stuff. The events that happened towards the end of this episode probably happened before. Is the understanding I get from that. So he's hanging out with his cat, and the cat starts leaving food out in front of his door while he's busy trying to write. He's very confused and somewhat annoyed by it, and gets the idea that, hey, maybe this is the cat's trap.
When I open the door, I step on the food. Death!
Yeah. Scribble, scribble, scribble. Yeah, so he's working for days upon days upon days. Keeps getting food left outside of his door, keeps stepping on it, keeps getting more annoyed, until he just kind of slams the door shut and just seals himself in his room just to work nonstop. The cat scratches at the door, doesn't get answered. And eventually, I forget how it happened. I think the cat was scratching at the door, and the dude started to get pissed about it, so he opens the door and just kind of collapses because he had been working nonstop without eating or sleeping.
His producer continues to call him through the entire process as well, so he feels like he isn't being left alone, but like hours are passing between each call.
Yeah, a working fugue. It happens.
Yeah, when you're actually like in the middle of writing and you're focused, you suddenly look at the clock and you're like, wow, 6 hours have passed. What just happened?
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So from your perspective, time is moving at a much faster pace. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah. So yeah, he collapses in front of the food, and the cat has actually moved its entire food bowl over in front of his door because, like, dude, eat is the impression. And he collapses with his face like inches away from the bowl. Wakes up. Turns out he just started eating while practically asleep, or if actually asleep, just was that hungry and starved himself so badly that he just instinctively fucking food, gimme, with it being right there.
Eat the cat food. It's
Yeah.
the only way.
Yeah. So he wakes up with his editor right there, having broken through the door. He'll have to get a new window or whatever. And it's like, hey, so you look like you could use some rest. And he's like, I finished the chapter. No, I didn't. That isn't what he says. It's like, he's mostly finished with the chapter, but just has some notes, like, outlined that are just there that the editor's seen. Is like, yeah, okay, you need to get some rest, and the notes you have for the rest of the chapter, that looks fine. Get some rest. Yeah. And I'll get you a new window. Yeah.
New windows on the way. Don't worry.
Perspective change. And now with a cat. Yeah.
Man, this guy's just not eating. Like, I need to get out of here. I have other things I gotta take care of, but he just doesn't take care of himself.
Yeah. He did me a solid when he just sort of gave me food. So, I need to pay that back somehow. He's like the boss of this place. But he's not eating. Maybe if I brought him food, and that's why it starts like leaving bits of food out in front of his door. And it's like he's not the guy is not receptive to it, and the cat's like, dude, come on, I'm trying to pay you back. Would you just would?
What is wrong with you,
Yeah.
human?
And as time goes on, it can see that he's getting worse and worse, and his condition is deteriorating. And it's like, okay, dude, this is starting to become a problem. I need you to actually eat the food, though, because what do you do? And it gets so desperate to actually get him to eat something that it brings its food bowl over. And it's like, come on, dude, I'm actually worried about you now. Not just because I want to pay back a favor, but come on, you're a mess. You're going to end up killing yourself. And when the dude scolds the cat for bringing its food bowl over, it's like, fine, I don't care anymore. Do whatever you're gonna do. And then the guy collapses. And it comes back and is like, hey, food. I brought you food. And it watches as he just sort of sleep scoffs food. It's super happy because, yay, he's not gonna die. Hopefully. So yeah.
Cat's just like, I guess I'll stick around because
You're pathetic.
clearly you're pathetic. Yeah, basically, you're pathetic. You can't take care of yourself. Gotta stick around.
I love this show. I'm probably gonna watch more when I get an opportunity.
It seems very relaxing.
Yeah.
It is very just pleasant. Sometimes you need a pleasant anime. especially this year.
Yeah, a pleasant anime about a dude that doesn't really want to leave his house,
Mm-hmm.
but is still kind of miserable being stuck inside his house.
But don't worry, he has a cat, so everything's okay.
I want a cat.
Go get a cat.
I shouldn't be responsible for anyone else's life.
Then don't say that you want a cat.
I want a cat, but I'm responsible enough to know I shouldn't have one.
That's fair.
One day you'll get a cat.
I'm
predicting
and
it now.
Will be miserable.
I don't think that you would let the cat be miserable.
No, just a matter of financially supporting it, which is probably the issue, I would assume.
I barely remember to eat and sleep and drink water appropriately for myself, let alone someone who doesn't directly suffer the consequences of not doing so. So,
Well,
yeah, this anime is really cool. I like it a lot. The story might be making me a little biased on that front, but I still stand by it.
yeah, I can appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a new one.
Okay.
11.
Okay.
How many are in K?
153.
Oh my gosh. I can't even think of 153 words that start with K. 64.
It's a popular letter in Japanese words and stuff. 64. 64.
The Mario number.
I'm just
What's
trying
Star
to think.
Fox?
We've technically done that one. I don't know whether to just skip to 65 and just call that. Re-roll. Roll again. It won't happen.
44.
Twice. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's a name. Okay, stop doing the other thing, that's something. There we go. Here we go. I think this is the one. I'm gonna copy and paste that for the thing. There we go. Yeah.
Alright.
That's the thing. My boyfriend is an idiot. Is the name of the show.
How endearing.
Or incredibly obnoxious Japanese title that is long and hard to read. I still hate this fucking weeaboo shit, having all the titles in Japanese when a title is supposed to tell people what the show is about. But this is for an English audience. We don't understand Japanese, that's why we have subtitles.
The English translation is right below it under other name, so.
Yeah, but
It kind of should be the primary name, though.
Yeah, this is a show archive. How are you going to find it by the Japanese name when you don't understand what the fucking words mean? Alright, so. Yeah, like I say, pet peeve. Centers around a girl named Akomi and her boyfriend Ponta Dinomiya. Why does he get a full name and she doesn't? Dinomiya is a massive idiot who has no redeeming qualities aside from being really handsome. Follows the couple's everyday lives.
Is this a biased take? Because is that going to be the anime discovering that he's not actually a complete idiot? He's just focused in his interests or something?
It has a really good opening, apparently. Oh, no, it doesn't. I don't know. Also, it's only 8 episodes. We should probably do a check of the time length of it.
Loading it up. Five minutes.
Roll again.
Yep.
140.
I've got to pull the list up again because I closed it because I thought we found one. 140?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Black Butler.
Oh, Black Butler.
In Victorian-era Europe, a young boy loses everything he once held near and dear to a vicious plot. In his moment of death, he strikes a deal with a demon, his soul in exchange for revenge. Ciel Phantom Hive is now the head of the Phantom Hive Corporation, handling all business affairs as well as the underground work for the Queen of England. His new partner is a demon butler, Sebastian Michaelis? I don't know. Whose powers as a butler is only surpassed by his strength as a demon. The story follows the two along with their other servants as they work to unravel the plot behind Ciel's parents' murder and the horrendous tragedies that befell Ciel in the month directly after. Okay.
Back in the old days, whenever there was an anime and you had that one girl in your class who liked anime, she would talk about Black Butler. It was Black Butler, Hetalia, and Oran.
Yeah, that is the trifecta.
So, I don't know anything about this show other than I have the main, I have the name of the demon butler ingrained in my head from many people talking about him. That's it.
Okay, which pronunciation was right? Is it Michaelis
Sebastian.
or Michaelis?
Just Sebastian.
Okay.
That's the first name. That's it. That's all people use. They ignore the last name.
Cool. Also, a demon named Michael is kind of a weird thing because that's,
Don't you understand? It's symbolic. It's symbolic.
I'm so glad you picked up on that. All right, so
that's what I was going for.
Yeah, Black Butler. That's the thing we're gonna do next week. Yay! Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.